appreciate you, Ms. Daniels, for signing the prerequisite disclosure, letting us know that you are aware that we are being recorded. Wait to the camera. I'll give you a chance. Cool. What brings you in today?
All right, I have a situation. I have been offered a position. It's a promotion in my company. Very good job, working directly with one of the presidents and one of our affiliates. And the problem is the distance from my home, that I would have to travel every day to get to this job. And I thought if I came in, talk to you, lay out the pros and cons on the table, kind of get some insight from you as an unbiased party in this conversation, I could kind of get clearance in my head on accepting the job. Right now, I don't see the benefit in me taking this position because of the drive.
Okay. You keep speaking about the drive. What tells you that this drive is an actual issue?
Well, the fact that I am currently driving 16 miles one way every day, 32 miles round trip. Well, if I take this new position, my drive will increase to 51 plus miles one way every day, averaging out to 101 or 2 miles round trip every day.
All right. How would you like me to help you with the situation today?
Well, I really just need guidance, I guess. I don't know if I would call it guidance or just input. Because when I lay out the pros and cons on the table, right now I see more cons than I see pros.
Okay. All right. Let's play a simple game. If you could close your eyes and actually picture a perfect situation, a miracle, if you will. You wake up out of bed, you feet hit the floor, instantly you know a miracle is taking place last night while you were asleep. What would you notice first and foremost about heading towards this new job on the north side of Houston?
First and foremost, it wouldn't be on the north side.
Okay.
I mean, we're talking about miracle.
Your miracle. Work it out.
Okay? It's my miracle. First thing that I would notice is it's on the southwest side, where I'm currently living.
Okay.
Same job, closer location. I would be, instead of 51 miles or 16 miles away from home, I'd be 5 miles away from home.
All right.
And since I'm dreaming, I would not only report to the president of the company, I too would have an assistant reporting to me.
An assistant for the assistant?
An assistant for the assistant.
Okay, it's clarifying. Right.
Mm-hmm.
What else could you tell me about this that you would notice? Maybe about yourself, maybe about the drive. What else would you notice that'd be a little different?
What would be different? I would not be stressed. I would not have all the traffic that I anticipate I'm going to have if I take the position on the north side. I would not have the increase in expenses that I anticipate that I will have if I take the position on the north side, because this position on the north side will entail me driving the Beltway both ways. And I expect to spend per day at least $7 to $8. You know, maybe 4 going and 4 coming back home. So I wouldn't have that. And I don't know, I'd have my own reserved parking space. I'd have my own bathroom. I'd have a window office.
Okay. All right. You're speaking as if you have a lot of experience with the distance, and because your figure seems to be pretty specific. Have you made this trip already to kind of calculate this? Where do you get your information from?
Well, I have actually worked on the north side before. I worked at the Greens Point office back early 1998, and I drove that for 7 years. So I know that was at least a 33, 35 mile stretch every day. So with this new location being near the Woodlands, just past the Woodlands, I know that I would add at least another 20 miles to that trip. And I know the stress that I was under when I was taking the 33, 35 mile trip.
Okay. Based on that information, was every situation, every day working out there on the north side, a horrible thing for you? Or were there any exceptions, even small things, that you can take from and say, you know what, it was a pleasantry in this trip, or it was a pleasantry in working up there? Are there some things that you can actually point out that are more specific about why it wasn't as bad?
Yes. Yes, there were some things. I enjoyed that job. I enjoyed the group that I worked with. The campus that I worked on it was a good job, a good position. I can't say it was all bad. I had great opportunities up there. I interacted with my external customers or internal customers in that job were wonderful people. And we all got along well. I could not find many things wrong.
What about the drive? Were there some positives or some upbeat things about the drive? Because that seems to be the most frustrating part about this entire process to you.
Well, when I was taking the drive before, one of the things that I was able to do, because it was, 30-some miles, it allowed me time to kind of focus and center, get ready for the day. I was in the car by myself. I didn't ride up with anyone else. So I had that time between going to work and coming home. It was sort of a wind down time. So I have to say that was good. There was a lot en route between my house and that location. So if I needed to stop and run errands, I could do it all between home and work because there was so much, grocery stores, if I needed to even pay my Easy Tag. All of that was between home and work. So.
Okay. What did your colleagues or your family or your supervisors, what did people see different about you from working downtown in comparison to working on the north side and apparently working back downtown currently? Was there a difference in your attitude? Was there a difference in your mannerism?
I don't think there was a difference, if you mean job-wise, in my attitude, because wherever I worked, I extended myself to give the best. When I worked at the Greenspoint office, my customers were internal. I was in the Human Resources Department, and we served fellow employees, so to speak. When I moved back downtown, I worked as a representative for one of our pipelines, and my customers were external. And I served them just as well as I did my co-employees at the Greenspoint office. So there was no difference in my attitude as far as the job. I think the difference was I was less stressed most of the time because I did not have that traffic to navigate every day.
Okay. All right. Is it possible for you to get to the north side without necessarily having to take the Beltway traffic? Possible on the freeway or something?
It's possible. But the only other route I know is to go 45 north, and I think that's worse than the Beltway.
Okay. All right. What small changes would you say that you would need to make, maybe internally,